same numerator. This is a pretty simple lesson, but first off, I'm going to do what we always do, and I'm going to have you tear out pages 191 and 192 from your math workbook. Okay, then get your big math book and put it on your desk. And you are going to open your book to page 347. Page 191 and 192 for the homework and 347 for the big math book. Thank you, Emily, for doing that so quickly. Thank you, Kendrick, for being on task. 191 and 192. 191 and 192. Yes. 347. Once I see everyone's books open, then we'll begin.
When your folder's open.
Almost there.
Miss Swartz,
Yes.
can you go ahead and send Jacob up to the office with his things?
Okay.
Thank you.
Hi, Jacob. Feel better?
I don't have all my stuff ready yet.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I'm going to do a brief overview of what we went over yesterday. Who can raise their hand and tell me what we learned yesterday? Isaiah.
We know how the fractions.
How to compare fractions using what?
The zero.
No, that's what we're learning today.
Oh, wait a minute.
Hold on, let me use it. Right. We did learn that, yes. Kendrick? Pac-Man, yes, we did use Pac-Man as our compare, as what we use for comparing fractions. Danishka?
We use.
If you don't remember what they're called, you can raise them in your hands.
I don't know how to do it.
The manipulatives. These are called manipulatives. Yes, we did this yesterday. But our lesson yesterday, if you actually want to flip back 2 pages, we learned about benchmarks. Benchmarks are numbers that are easier to use when comparing fractions. Numbers with 1 and 1/2 instead of like 5/16ths and 2/7ths. We made it a little bit easier by giving you those easier numbers, the bigger numbers, to compare. Today, it's actually going to be a lot easier than what we did yesterday. Today we're comparing numbers with the same numerator, comparing fractions with the same numerator. So on page 347, who wants to raise their hand and read the first problem for me? Problem.
Josh is at a Mezzo pizza. He can sit at a table with 5 of his friends, or at a different table with 7 of his friends. The same size pizza is shared equally among the people at each table. At which table should Josh sit to get larger piece of pizza?
Okay. If you guys didn't hear him, I'll read it to you, but you can follow along with me in your book. Josh is at Enzo's Pizza. He can sit at a table with 5 of his friends, or at a different table with 7 of his friends. The same size pizza is shared equally among the people at each table. At which table should Josh sit at to get a larger piece of pizza? Okay, first, like I've been teaching you, what do we have to do since we have a word problem? Emily? We have to underline the important information. Very good. Okay, so, in my first sentence, it says, Josh is at Enzo's Pizza. Is there anything I need to underline in that?
No.
No, we don't. Okay. What about he can sit at a table with 5 of his friends?
Yes.
Danishka.
He
He? Underline he?
can
we know that Josh is one person and he is going to a table with 5 friends. What's my numerator? Danishka.
6.
Not 6. Larissa?
8.
No. Josh is one person and he's going to a table with 5 friends.
5. 7. 6. 4.
How many is Josh?
1.
Josh is 1, so 1 is in our numerator because that's what we're counting is 1. So, including Josh, how many friends will be sharing a pizza at each table? At the first table, it's 5 friends. So 5 plus 1 is, who wants to raise their hands? Lloyd? 6. Okay, so I'm going to write 6 right there. You guys can go ahead and do the same thing in your books. And then, what's my second table going to be if he has 7 friends at the other table? Geraldo? 7 plus 1, which is? 8. So he has 8 friends. Okay. Okay, and if Josh is one person, he goes on top because he's the one who's being counted. The trick to this, that you guys are going to be like, oh my gosh, I get it. Actually, let me ask you first. Which one do you think is the bigger fraction? Danishka.
8.
Not 8.
1/6.
1/6. Why?
Because 1/6 it has a bigger piece than 1/8.
1/6 would have a bigger piece than 1/8. The trick is this. The trick is this. If you have a pizza like this, you see how it is here? And you'll see it in your book. You see pizza A and pizza B. If he was to sit at pizza A, this slice is this big. He gets that whole triangle right there. And then this one, he only gets this little piece right here. So it shows you using our manipulatives, which you have on your desk, so if you want to pull out 1/6 and 1/8, you can compare them. 1 second, Isaiah. But the trick is that if the numerators are the same, the smaller denominator is the bigger one. Okay? Yes. Nope. You can just compare these two. 1/6 and 1/8. Yes. Well, let's find out. Let's go on further and see what we find. Yes, Isaiah. Not always. Only if they have the same numerator. Only if the numerators are the same. Because if I have 2/6 compared to 1/8, which is bigger? 2/6 would be bigger than 1/8. Well, I'm sorry. If I had 3/8 and 1/6, which one is bigger? The 8. Because you have 3 of them now instead of 1. Only if the numerators are the same will this smaller denominator be the bigger one. Okay. What are we trying to find? That's something we forgot to underline in our first question. Isaiah.
Which is the larger pizza?
So we're going to read it. At which table should Josh sit to get a larger pizza? So that, right there, you change colors. And we'll underline it. This, right here, is what you're going to write in this box here. Okay, you guys can go ahead and do that. Don't forget to underline it in your books. You see which one's bigger? bottom, numbers 1 and 2, I'm going to have you do after we model the problem, okay? Because this is where you're going to use your manipulative. There will be 6 friends sharing one pizza or 8 friends sharing another. So Josh will either get 1/6 or 1/8. Compare 1/6 and 1/8. Using your manipulatives. Which one's bigger?
1/6 and 1/8.
Emily?
1/6.
1/6. Okay, so here it's telling us to shade it in. And I showed you how to do that before. So you're going to shade in 1/6. And then you're also going to shade in 1/8. And that will also help you figure out which one's bigger. Now I see a circle. That means that we need to put Miss Pac-Man in there. Which way is Miss Pac-Man's mouth going to be biggest? Perfect. 1/6. Okay, so is it going to look like this?
Yes.
Okay. Thumbs up if you agree.
I concur.
Very good. So, should Josh sit at the table with 5 friends or with 7 friends? Crystal?
5.
5 friends, very good. And we're going to write 5 right in here. Now, using the information from the first problem up top, fill in numbers 1 and 2. Please. And I'm going to come around and I'm going to see how you're doing. Yes, Kendrick. It's in your book. Okay, so that's it. There's going to be 6 friends sharing one pizza and 8 friends sharing another. You're comparing 1/6 and 1/8. So you're going to shade in 1/6 of pizza A. So shade in 1/6. Now it says shade in 1/6, shade in 1/8 of pizza B. Which one did you shade more of? I think this one looks a little bit bigger than this, right? Yeah? So you did this one. Okay, so which pizza has more pieces? Which one has more pieces? Pizza A. Put that here, and pizza B right there. Oh, I see here.
I'm using them.
That's okay, because we're only working with one at a time, okay? This one is asking which pizza has more pieces. No, this one. Using the first one. This one, which pizza has more pieces? This one or this one? Okay. We have a lot of questions. Number 1 is asking which pizza has more pieces. It's asking if pizza A has more pieces or pizza B has more pieces. It's asking for this first problem. This goes back up here. The more pieces a whole is divided into, the bigger or smaller it is. No, the more pieces it has. Bigger or smaller? Yes, Jen. Let me show you. Which pizza has more pieces? Pizza A or pizza B? So write that there. Okay. And now, with this information, the more pieces a whole is divided into, the bigger or the smaller the pieces? So if there's more people sitting at the table, they're going to get a bigger slice? So we'll get a smaller piece. these show you the sizes. When you put 10 of these together, it equals 1 whole. The 12 of these together, it equals 1 whole. Which one's bigger?
This one.
So this would be 1/6, and this one would basically be 1/8. But you have those in here. So if you wanted to test it, pull out 1/6 and 1/8 and see which one's bigger or smaller. Very good. Good job, good job. We're not doing these fractions. It's asking pizza A or pizza B. So we need the A or B here. Which one has more pieces? Pizza B. It's asking for pizza B. If it has more pieces, is it going to have bigger pieces or smaller pieces? Very good. Is this, the more pieces a whole is divided into, the bigger or smaller the pieces? So does this one have more, does this one have more? A has more than 8. So if this one is divided into 8 pieces, are these pieces smaller or bigger? So the more pieces a whole is divided into. Yes. This one is asking, the more pieces a whole is divided into, the bigger or smaller the pieces? That's what it's asking. Yes. Very good. The more pieces a whole is divided into, the bigger or smaller the pieces. Very good, Emily. Very good. I'm gonna go on in a second. Very good. It's not asking 6. This one's asking bigger or smaller. The more pieces a whole is divided into, the bigger or smaller the pieces. Okay, give it a try. We'll go over it. It's okay, because I'm going to go over it. It's good. Okay, hands down. Sometimes we're going to go over it, because I know you guys are having a little bit of trouble with this. Number 1 says, which pizza has more pieces? Pizza A or pizza B? Selena.
Pizza A.
Has more pizzas. More pieces. Larissa.
Pizza B.
Pizza B. Okay, so we're going to write. We're going to put pizza B right there. Okay, now this, underneath it is asking, the more pieces a whole is divided into, the blank the pieces. What they're trying to find is the bigger or smaller the pieces. The more pieces it has, are the pieces going to be bigger or smaller?
Small.
Danishka?
Small.
Smaller. Very good. Okay, so write that in here. Number 2 says, which pizza has fewer pieces? Gianna, which one has fewer pieces?
Pizza A.
Pizza A. Okay, so we're going to write pizza A right here. Yes, Kendrick.
What does it say?
I can't hear you, honey.
What does it say?
What does what say? What's on my screen is exactly what's in your book. We're on this one. Which pizza has fewer pieces? A. You see how I wrote A in there? So the next one we're going to do is right here. Yes. I'll get you a baby. Yes.
That's easy.
Well, Well, this part's not, only because it's a word problem, but it's trying to get you to think a little bit. Okay, number 2 says, which pizza has the fewer pieces? Gianna told me pizza A. So we have 6 pieces, and then in pizza B we have 8 pieces. So fewer pieces would be 6. The fewer pieces a whole is divided into, the bigger or smaller parts. Emily. The bigger the pieces. Very good. So we're going to write bigger here. Remember, I want to see you writing it in your book. The word problems are probably going to be the one that gets you the most, but once you actually see them, it won't be that hard. Because you have your manipulatives at home, so you can check, and you also have the ones in front of you. Okay, so let's turn to the next page. We got one more problem we're going to do. Yes, Robert.
Are we going to do our share and show by ourselves?
As soon as we do this one, yes. Okay, who wants to read the question? Gianna, I'll let you read the question today.
On Saturday, the campers paddled 3 12 miles down the
Wakiva.
Wakiva River. On Sunday, they paddled 3/5 miles down the river. On which day did the campers paddle farther?
Okay. Just underneath that, in your book, it says compare 3/12 and 3/5. What was my trick that I just taught you guys? Robert?
That the same, if it has the same number and which one and if it in the denominator, if there's one that denominator that's smaller than the other one, then that one is bigger than that one.
Very good. So if we know that we have 3/12 and 3/5, and 3 is the common numerator, but my denominators are different, which fraction's bigger? I see the same people sharing. Show it.
3/5.
3/5. And the way we can check our answers is right here on the right. It shows us 12/12 and 5/5. So we're going to shade in 3/12, and you're going to help me. And then 3/5. I love hearing those pencils shading in. Thank you guys for participating. So yodeling, by looking at my shading, which one's bigger, 3/12 or 3/5?
3/5.
3/5. Very good. So, which way is my open mouth Pac-Man going to be facing? Isaiah?
3/12.
By the 3/12, the big part is going to go to the 12th?
I mean 3/5.
Okay. There we go. So it's going to look just like that. Now what I want you to do, on page 349, I would like you to try the share and show on your own. Don't forget to underline the key information, the numbers that we're comparing. I'll come around and help you out and check your answers. Once I check you, you can turn to the next page and do the on your own. How's my mouth going to be here? Bigger. So how's my mouth going to be? Good. Okay. So this one. Really good. Oh, just in front of you. Good. You need tickets. tried your best. Now go on to the on your own, okay? And then, if you have time, do them on the top. Check this one. You need to check this one's right. This one's right. This one you need to change. Which one's better? One step or one top? Use your manipulatives to check. Don't forget to use your manipulatives to check. Awesome. Good. Awesome, Gianna. Huh? Mm-hmm. You guys can try the hot problem too. Very good. You're very welcome. Thank you for saying thank you, Yodeli. Very good. You're welcome. I'm coming. It's okay. Give me 1 second. Let me check the nation. Okay. Let me help Jasmine real quick, okay? Try your hardest first, okay? He ate 3/4 of the steak. Or his pancake. And David ate 2/4. What are we shading in? Okay, but it's saying that David ate 2/3, so David ate this one, James ate this one. Who ate more? You know that information. Try that. Very good. You missed one. Good. There you go. You got over 100 tickets already? Wow, that means you get to probably go to the treasure box on Friday. Yeah?
I have 47,
Yeah?
but I'm gonna get bored.
I got 92.
I would have
And James says he knows he ate more because he looked at him himself. Does his answer make sense? James says he ate more because he looked at himself. So did James eat more?
Yeah.
Tell me why. Go ahead. Let me grab some more tickets for you guys because you are right on track. Hold on, I don't respond to calling out. Raise your hand. You get it? That's a little bit easier, huh? Which is bigger, 1/3 or 3/4? Check here. This is 1/3. 3/4. That's your big piece. Okay. Yeah. you to do, I'm going to pair you up and I want you to turn and talk with your friends about how you got your answer. Shovik, you're going to work with Maraldo. Selena, you're going to work with Emily. Gianna, you're going to work with Robert. Jasmine, you're going to work with Isaiah. Kervin, you're going to work with Larissa. And Kendrick, you're going to work with Danishka. Crystal, you're going to work with Yodeling when she comes back, okay? Well, he did it. I saw him do it. See, he did it. So I want only after you turn and talk, okay? About how you guys got your answers. And then, if you need to, have them show you the manipulators, okay? This is Friday, tomorrow. So we're not doing tickets now. We're going to worry about this tomorrow. You guys started to talk already? I didn't hear you. Don, did you talk with Kendrick? Go talk with Kendrick because I want you guys to compare how you got answers. So you're going to work with Crystal and compare how you got your answers. Okay? So take your book and go by Crystal and tell her how you got your answers. Share with Ronald. Share with Ronald to show how you got your answers. Good. Now, I'm coming, Mr. White. Oh, I didn't pair you up. So I want you to tell me. Okay. So James, that's right. And then good.
You should go to the stage. Which number is lower? If the number is the same, you need to slide, put a new one, okay?
You're about to drop 1/3. Yes. Good, very good. Did you guys talk? You talked? Okay, good. Then what I want you to do is turn this on page.
Put them on the
That's Quentin. I know, it's kind of a hard one. And then James 8 3/4. This is what they ate. Wait more. We're putting our tickets away, and if we're done turning and talking, we're moving on to the next page. David, compare them. David, compare. Use your manipulator. James 8 more, and I'm going to show you why.
Yeah.
You guys are good.
She's
1, 2. Hold on, honey. That's 3/4. Okay, and then he ate 2/3. This one's James, this one's David. That means James ate more. Yes, Danishka. It's okay. You can move on to the next page until he is. I'm coming, Miss Jasmine. right?
So it's that answer, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's
Okay, what is our first step when we
Miss
look at a
Sultzer,
word
we
problem?
worked it together.
Raise your hand. Your questions after you underline the important information. Yes, sir. I'm coming. Yes.
We worked it together at the bottom.
Good. Good. Okay, don't forget. I wanted you to share this page. This one you have to do.
You know how we worked it out?
We
did measurements. Yeah, we
You
measured
use
it.
the manipulatives? Good. Very good. I like how you're using your manipulatives.
Next page. You didn't do that? Okay, we went one.
Is this one bigger?
So 1 4. Which one?
Look at the 12. And look at the 8. Which one's bigger, 8 or 12?
1 6. Let me see it.
The 8. So why'd you put that like that? Remember, if the numbers on the top are the same, the number on the bottom, that's smallest, is actually So try it again. You did this one right. And you did this one right. This one too. But some of these are getting confused. So try again, okay?
That's 2 10. I have another way to
Okay.
imagine that you take it out. And then
Yes. If you are done, you can work to the next page. Not on the next page.
I thought you were gonna give us and then we can't do the next page.
I checked you already, right?
2 6.
This is what?
The 6 is bigger.
Oh, you don't have another one?
Okay.
This is what David eats. And this is what James eats. Eat more.
Two, 4. 2 6. Which one is? Okay, that's complete. You can tell.
Wow!
You see?
Good job, Selena.
So it's 2, 4.
I love how Loy is working so quietly.
I can't get the one thing on there. Good. Next one. 4 12.
This blue line.
And I know 4 6. What do you need to know? Okay, let's compare. There's some tricky ones you don't know.
You know what they're looking for. What do you need to know?
You know the tricky ones? You like have different numbers. Right now, there's like 5, 8, 8, 8. Next.
Now you can move on to the next problem.
The next one is 1 10.
I'm coming.
1 6.
Yes.
But these are like
You need to change these ones. You can change these ones.
doesn't matter how you put them.
Try changing these
Doesn't
ones.
matter how you put them.
Okay.
You can still know the okay, now
Which one's bigger?
5
1/3 or 1/4?
yeah.
So 1/3 is bigger than 1/4. Why'd you put that 1/4 is bigger?
Now we're going to get
Remember.
7 12.
Alligators are hungry.
7 12. 1 2
Look, up there, you see it? The alligators are hungry, so if they're hungry, they're always going to want to go for the bigger one. So their mouth is always open towards the bigger one. Okay? So try fixing these up a little bit.
7 8. Which one is bigger? It's
I love how Crystal and Yodeline are working.
8. Yeah. Okay. On your own. Let's do it on your own. Let's see.
1/4 is better than 1/3?
I'm going to do it all by yourself. I'm going to see if you do it good, okay? Well, would I? Okay, let's do it together.
Remember,
I'm doing it by myself.
When you finish, I'm finishing. This is what James ate.
Remember that?
This one. Thank you for using your manipulatives.
Yes, because 1/4 is the answer. Let's see. We are only one. I want you to use that.
1 second. Yeah. This one and this one. Uh-huh.
It's the what's this one? 3/4.
Are you ready?
3/4.
Good.
What? 3/4 is
You gotta do
And
this.
what else?
This. I'm coming, Miss Mishka.
Yes. 3/4 is 2.
This one is asking you what you need to know. Remember, you have to underline what you're trying to know.
Threes or the
It's not just the numbers. You also have to underline what you're trying to find. Which is by the greater distance in the morning. Okay. How do you know what's your greater, 1/8 or 1/10? Well, you have your blocks in front of you. Don't forget to use your blocks. Okay.
And too much TV.
Awesome. Now, Yodeling, can you go back to your seat?
Yeah, that's what
And then work on the problem.
I love
Dad, I finished the time. Do I have a lot?
Do you guys have about 5 more minutes? There you go. Now you got it. Now you got it. Try this one. I'm waiting on one. Oh, I can. Okay, I'm going to do a quick review. Okay, raise your hand if you can tell me what we learned today. Okay.
You don't have to repel manipulatives and little equal to less than equal to the 7 and 10. Remember that?
Okay, so we learned how to use our manipulatives to compare
You
fractions.
don't know the next number is the bigger number.
Okay, Jasmine? Okay, I'm asking though what we learned today. What did we learn today? I learned that you were dumb, but you know. What did you learn today?
that the smaller number might always be bigger because with the manipulator is when you add them together, when it goes upper and upper, it's always going to get smaller.
Okay, but in the denominator, if the number's smaller, what has to be the same? Deanna.
Like the numerator is always the one in this one.
It's not always 1, but if the... I'll let you go, Robert.
I learned the trick that to know if which one is bigger if the numerator is the same number. You need to check the denominator to see which one is bigger, then that's the last one, and then which one is smaller is the larger one.
Very good. Can get some tickets because I'm proud you listened. How can... What are some other things that you can compare that you have at home to help you with this lesson? Tanishka? Manipulatives. Even though you don't have these blocks, you have
The paper one?
you have the paper. What about household items? Like if you want to know if your refrigerator is bigger than your microwave.
That's easy.
Well, that's it. What if you go to the store and you're comparing two things? What are some things that you can compare? It's like a fraction. Mini refrigerators, yeah.
You can think like you can think in your mind of like when you're at school that like 2 is kind of like
Where it's like one whole, then two halves.
See, there's like two halves.
Will be greater than 2.
Good, very good.
You can use a flat screen TV, just that big, and a normal TV.
You can compare it that way because they're both TVs, which would be your numerators, but your denominator is going to be like, is one a flat screen or is one an old school TV with the big back at the end, or one's a 32 inch and one's a 60 inch. So it could be like that, which one's better? So you can do it that way. Yes.
You can draw all your sports cards. You can put those.
Sports card.
Basketball, baseball, golf, whatever.
Water bottles. Okay. What do I have back there on my board? What do you have at home where you can compare using the same numerator, different denominators? Lloyd. Pizzas. Pizzas is probably the most common thing. What's another thing? Pies.
You can a small book and a big book.
Books.
Your shoes?
I don't know about shoes. Pencils. What do you eat on your
A
birthday?
cake?
Cake.
Oh,
Very good. Okay. Okay. You want to
Sure,
share?
I have one.
Pancakes.
Your heights?
Heights.
Cookies?
Cookies. I like that. I like cookies.
Toys?
Toys. I'm going to take one more. One more. Yodeling.
Candy.
Candies. Okay. Hands down. If you want to share more with me, write it down on a piece of paper. You can put it in my red bin. Don't forget to tear out your homework pages and put it in your homework notebook.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm glad you guys learned a lot. Quietly put your manipulatives away in the bag and put them inside your desk, and take your writing notebook out and put it on your desk.